What's up, everybody? This is Dr. Zeb, and welcome to the Rehab Christian Center Sunday morning virtual experience. It's Super Bowl Sunday, and it is Valentine's Day weekend. There's so much going on today, but I'm glad to see you and certainly hopeful and prayerful that you've had a fantastic week. Listen, I got a powerful word for you today. I'm not going to, let me hit you with the church phrase. I'm not going to be before you long, but I've got a powerful word that I want to share with you today, and just so grateful that you've tuned in again on this Super Bowl Sunday, not Super Sunday. I know we use that phrase every first Sunday, but the Super Bowl Sunday, let me clarify. Super Bowl Sunday, Valentine's Day weekend, all of this stuff. And again, I ain't going to be before you long, but I got a powerful word today, and I'm excited to be here with you today. So do me a favor. Just start tagging people, sharing this video. I recognize I'm up against a lot today. I'm competing today. Against a lot. I'm competing against your food this afternoon that you're going to cook. I'm competing against your boo if you still laid up this morning. I'm competing against your boo if you're about to lay up today. I know I'm competing against a lot, but I'm excited to be here and certainly hopeful and prayerful that you are as well. So again, start liking the video, sharing the video, tagging people quickly, telling them to hop on before you go do whatever you're going to do today, whatever you're going to do this weekend. I need you to catch this word that I'm going to teach, love and happiness. It's a powerful word. It ain't quite what you think it is, but it's going to be more, I promise you. And I'm excited to share this with you. So let's run through the networks. I want to hurry and get through the networks. I got a lot to try to get through today. And again, I'm going to be mindful of time. I had several people hit me up and tell me that they were going to be traveling this weekend and doing some things. And I'm so glad you are. And if you're out of town and enjoying yourself, please enjoy yourself. If you get a chance to tune in. And certainly the beautiful thing about this virtual platform that we have is that you can catch the replay as well. And so I'm just certainly prayerful that you have safe traveling wherever you are, whatever you're doing this weekend, that you enjoy yourself on this Super Bowl Sunday. And again, I'm so glad you tuned in. Good morning, everybody. I'm starting to see people say good morning. I see those awesome little ones. Sister Monique, is so good to see you. And I want you to just start saying good morning wherever you are. Start tagging people. Tell them to get up. Yeah, it's Super Bowl Sunday weekend. Yeah, it's Valentine's Day. Look, if you in the bed with your boo, both of y'all get this word. How about that? How about y'all watch the word together this morning? As you lay, watch the word this morning together. But I want you to get up because I got a powerful word I cannot wait to share with you, man. This thing has been eating away at me all week. I love you. I love you too, Sister Monique. I really miss you sincerely. To that end, it was so good this weekend to virtually be with Mother Brenda, our church mother. She turned 70 this week, and they had a virtual birthday party for her. And was just grateful between all the practices and things. I had got the link, and just to sit through that on Friday and hear her family really celebrate her and do some wonderful things for her. Mother Brenda might not be on this morning because Mother Brenda had a great birthday. That's all I'm gonna say. If you were on the show, then you know. But just to sit on that broadcast or that virtual party for an hour and a half and listen to her family really praise her and lift her up, it really made me miss all of you, Rehab, those of you seeing you in person. And we'll see each other soon. And I'm excited about that. But it really made me miss you all so tremendously much. And just want to say, I don't know if she turned up, Elder Misty, but let me tell you something. Mother Brenda might go disappearing for a while. And that's all I'm going to say. I ain't gonna put Mother Brenda's business out there. But she really had an awesome birthday, and I was so glad to be a part of her virtual experience, and just so grateful her family included me. I understand birthdays, and especially in this environment that we're in, these are significant times because the virus, if anything, has taught, I hope, most of us to cherish our family and the times that we have with them. And, the virus has really forced people to only operate in clusters of people and not have a lot of outsiders. And so, though it was a virtual environment, the fact that they allowed me in that private space really meant a lot to me. And so just want to shout Mother Brenda again, another happy birthday. We so love our church mother and just so grateful for her and everything that she does for rehab and has personally done for me. All right, let me get into this. Let me get through the networks. I've just got so much energy today. I'm so excited. I hope you are. Again, what a wonderful, awesome weekend. Super Bowl Sunday, Valentine's Day weekend, all of this stuff. And I can't wait to get into this. And so let's get into the declaration. Let me get my screens together. Let me stop talking so much because I've got to stay on track today. So many of you hit me up and say, hey, I'm going to be out of town. I'm going to be doing this. And so I want to be mindful of where you are. But I got to give you this word before you go do whatever you do today, because it's going to be powerful. Let's go through the declaration. If this is your first time tuning in to the Rehab Christian Center, every Sunday we go through our declaration. People ask, what does rehab mean? What does rehab stand for? Rehab stands for 5 things: restore, evangelize, hope, alternatives, breakthrough. Is the 5 pillars by which our ministry operates. And so we always walk through the declaration on Sunday. And so I want to take a moment now and walk through this declaration. Instagram, I got good news for you. I figured out a way. I have been racking my brain. I figured out a way how to show you all the declaration, and that should be effective starting next Sunday. So you don't just have to look at me and listen to me. You're going to be able to see the words on the screen. I think I finally figured it out. And that thing really blessed me this week. And so I've been playing around with it. I should have that prepared next week. And so thank you for your patience. I told you we're going to try to bring this thing full swing so that on each of our networks, you will be able to see the same exact experience, whether it is through the virtual experience or it is when we are in person. It doesn't matter, in person, virtual. When we go to the hybrid format, I want each network to be able to experience the same experience. And so that's something I've been working really hard on. And then as we have meetings to gather volunteers to really run this for me, we're going to make sure that every experience is top notch. And I'm excited for that. All right, let's get into it. Restore. Say it with me. We declare that everything that is broken, lost, hurt, or destroyed that belongs to us and has been designed by God is restored. My faith is restored. My joy is restored. My mind is restored. Even my lost time is restored. I am no longer broken. The fact that I'm alive means I have another chance. My faith has restored me. And right now, his love is making me whole. Evangelize. Say it with me. We declare that God helped us so we can help somebody else. He loved me when I was unlovable. He changed me when I was a mess, okay? His love lifted me when I was down. I am not perfect, but I'm free. And anything that came for me can't keep me. Because I'm free, my circle is next. My family is saved. My friends are blessed. My plans are successful. My goals are ahead of schedule. And anything connected to me is blessed, just like me. Hope. Say it with me. We declare that everything that is missing is not lost. In Jesus, I have hope. And this hope makes me confident. It does not matter what happens to me or around me. I'm going to win. My relationships are winning. My goals are winning. My circle is winning. My family is winning. My neighbor is winning. I added one. This city will win. And my row has the victory. My past is defeated. And my future is brighter today than it was yesterday. I think good to me. Alternatives. Say it with me. We declare that God made us different. I'm a royal child, the light of the world, and the hope of my city. I respect the past, but I don't look like what I've been through. I love the church, and my life is balanced. I love coming to church, but I like flights, boats, and vacations. My whole life is blessed. I am the head and not the tail. I am above and not beneath. I am a lender, not a borrower. And every place I go belongs to me. Breakthrough. Say it with me. We declare that God has a breakthrough with our name on it. I have some challenges, but I am not defeated. No weapon formed against me can prosper. And I know that all things are working for my good. Things are not breaking down. They are about to break through. There is a breakthrough in my career. There is a breakthrough in my home. There is a breakthrough in my health. There is a breakthrough in my finances. I am here on purpose, for a purpose, and everything that went wrong is getting ready to turn around. Did you say that with me? Did you say it like I said it? Elder Missy said, I said it with my chest today. Did you say it like I said it? Do me a favor. If you made that declaration, I want you to type in the comments right now. It's going to get better. Hurry. It's going to get better. You need to invite somebody. Hit the @ symbol, tag their name, and just say it's going to get better. They're going to wake up, look at their phone and say, what in the world is this? And they're going to come in and they're going to catch a word that's going to change their entire life. Tag somebody. Tell them it's going to get better. Quickly. Hurry. I need everybody to do this. We are on a time crunch. I'm starting my clock right now. Tag somebody. Tell them it's going to get better. It's going to get better. Things concerning your life are not going to turn for the worse. The worst is over. Things are about to turn for the better. And I need you to be encouraged today. I need you to understand that sometimes things have to get worse before they get better. And I'll tell you what I told a young lady just last evening. Never met the young lady. Saw her while I was out at a restaurant, and she was really explaining some things she's going through, and really felt like she had hit a wall. I was in there just trying to have dinner, not trying to be known or seen. And she said she just felt led to share it with me. She just got something. She said my energy just gave off this vibe of compassion. I don't know where she got this from. And I was really grateful for that. And she just began to explain how things in her life, one thing after another had been happening. And she's standing there with tears in her eyes. I told her to put down the bucket on the table. And I grabbed her hand, looked her in the face and said, sweetheart, sometimes things get worse before they get better. But the good news is it can't rain every day. Somebody needs to know this morning that concerning your life, things are going to get better. I don't care what it looks like. I don't care how gloomy your days have been. I don't care how dark your moments have been. I need you to encourage yourself today to know that things in your life are going to get better. They have to get better. There's no way you can stay where you are. There's no way your finances can stay where they are. There's no way your health can stay where it is. There's no way your family situation can stay where it is. God knows there's no way your career can stay the way it is. Especially if you've been having ghetto weeks like I have. There's no way these situations can stay the way they are. You have to be encouraged, and you got to be encouraged first before you get it. You have to see it before you receive it. You have to see it before you actually see it. You have to walk in that kind of encouragement. And if you do, I'm telling you, all we do is speed up the process. It's going to happen anyway. But all we do is speed up the process when we really allow that to permeate our spirit, and we allow that to penetrate our spirit so that we understand it before it happens. It's going to get better. I need you to tag 5 people quickly. Tell them, jump on. It's going to get better. We're getting ready to jump into a powerful word. After you tag your 5 people, after you type, it's going to get better. I like that. Sister Michelle texted me and said, Pastor, I want you to have a suburban week this week. And Sister Michelle, it didn't work. It was a ghetto week. No, it was mildly ghetto. It wasn't as ghetto as past weeks. But I really laughed at that. But listen, I need you to tag 5 people. I want you to type it's going to get better. And then go ahead and put in the chats right now, in the chat area, our subject for today, love and happiness. Come on, do it quickly. Love and happiness. I want you to put it in the comments today. I'm so excited to teach this message. We're going to be in Proverbs chapter 16, verse 1 through 3 in the New Living Translation. Proverbs chapter 16, verses 1 through 3 in the New Living Translation. I'm talking about love and happiness on this Super Bowl Sunday, Valentine's Day weekend. We're talking about this today, and I'm excited about this. Now, I know I'm getting on some of y'all's nerves. I'm talking about, Super Bowl and Valentine's. I also told another lady, I don't know why I was just running into folk last night. I'm in the restaurant, and she griping and complaining. Looking at folks that's coming in and look at what they got on going. And I said, listen, I ain't know the lady. We're sitting in the same general area, and I said, listen, do you have anybody? She said, no. I said, that's probably why. That's probably, you have to learn how to be happy for other people. So I want to just say this. Let me just get this out the way while y'all typing in the subject, love and happiness. Let me just get this out the way. When you see all of these Valentine's Day posts tomorrow, don't y'all be hating. If you don't want to see it, don't log on social media tomorrow. Take tomorrow off. If you don't want to see folk, with their boo, their significant other, their mate, whatever, on social media, and that's going to annoy you, or you're going to have something negative to say, log off. Take social media off tomorrow. Well, Dr. Zed, I don't believe in Valentine's Day. Valentine's Day ain't in holiness. It ain't real. Your hair ain't real. And you've been walking around acting like it's real, and you the only one that believe in it. You the only one that believe that the hair in your head is real, and we ain't stopped you from wearing it. So y'all let these people live tomorrow. Let these people live in the restaurants you go to today. Let these people live on social media. Let these people enjoy their Valentine. And if you ain't got nobody, that's probably the reason why. You need to learn how to be happy for other people. I know I'm teaching already. Y'all don't like this. y'all don't like this, but I'm teaching already. Learn how to be happy for other folks. And if you learn how to be happy for other people, you might get somebody. Okay? I'm just telling you the truth. So that's why I have to go through this speech. If you go to rehab and been to rehab in person before, I do this every year. Christmas, Easter, I have to go through all the holidays because we have super deep folk that don't believe in no holidays. I don't believe in Christmas. I don't believe in this. You don't believe okay, that's fine. You ain't got to believe in Valentine's Day. Just log off tomorrow, but y'all let these people live and learn how to be happy for other people. I'm serious, okay? Just learn how to be happy for other people, and just know that everything you got fake on you that we have overlooked, we have let you live with it. Let these people live with Valentine's Day. Okay, I don't care if this might be the only day they love each other. That's fine. I pray God works on that, because Valentine's Day should be a 364 day out of a year situation. All right, so I get that, but still, if this is the one day they like each other, let them like each other. But y'all stop party pooping and raining on folks' parade. All right, I've gotten off my soapbox. Proverbs chapter 16, verses 1 through 3. I'm in the New Living Translation. We are talking about love and happiness. All right, now let's walk through the verses. I'm going to read them, and then I'm going to go back through, because again, this message is going to shock many of you. It ain't quite what you think it's going to be, but it kind of is, but it kind of ain't. Look at this. Proverbs chapter 16, verse 1 says this: we can make our own plans, but the Lord gives the right answer. This is one of my favorite Proverbs. Proverbs 16, verses 2. People may be pure in their own eyes, but the Lord examines their motives. Verse number 3, commit. Here's the word, commit your actions to the Lord, and your plans will succeed. Let's get into this. The first thing I want you to record is this: any significant connection in your life includes commitment. Any significant commitment or connection in your life includes commitment. This is going to be powerful today. This is going to be powerful. Y'all going to be the smartest people at the water cooler tomorrow, and I'm going to get this out in 50 minutes. Any significant connection in your life includes commitment. Commitment. Why is this important? Because you can't say you are really connected to anything that you're not committed to. Okay? You cannot say you are really connected to anything you're not committed to, right? You've got to stop owning things you're not committed to. You got to stop letting people own you that ain't committed to you. You got to stop owning places you ain't committed to. Some of y'all don't need to tell nobody where you work because you come to work late every day. You're not committed to that, right? Anything that is of significant connection involves a commitment. Stop letting people own you and say that they connected to you and they committed to you. No, until they are committed to you, there is no connection with you. See, because significant connection will always involve commitment. And until then, it's surface. You can visit a church, but that don't mean you committed to it. You can walk up and shake the pastor's hand and do all of that stuff, but it don't mean and join the church. It don't mean you committed. If we see you once a year, how committed are you? You can date somebody, Valentine's Day. You can date somebody and go out on a couple of dates, but until it's exclusive, there ain't no commitment. It's surface. And any connection in your life without commitment is surface. I want you to record that. You're going to be the smartest person at the water cooler tomorrow. Any connection in your life without commitment is what I call surface. It's surface. It's not, and that is in people. That's in jobs. Let me help y'all. Here's the big one. That's also with God. Because here's the reality. You can say you know God. I believe you do. You can say you love God. I believe you do. But if your connection to him doesn't involve commitment, it's surface. Ooh, I know y'all didn't like that. Yeah, if your connection to him does not involve a commitment, in other words, you're not committed to God. You're not committed to living a life that pleases him. You're not committed to living a life that involves him in your decisions, that involves him in the way you treat people, that involves him in the way you engage with others. Until you commit on that level, it's surface. And let me give you another great example. You like me, most of the people on your social media feed, you don't know half the people on your social feed, right? You scroll down social media, you be liking stuff, you don't even know who the people are, right? You like somebody's photo and somebody's got 5,000 likes on their photo. They may go through the 5,000 and your name might show up on the list. That doesn't mean they know who you are. So your ability to see that photo and like it means that you have somewhat of a connection. Maybe you're friends on social media, you see each other on social media, whatever. But are you committed? Do you really know them? No, the connection surface. And see, many of us, when it comes to God, when it comes to people, when it comes to relationships, when it comes to places, when it comes to things, whatever, we hollering, we committed, but it's surface, because any significant connection will always have commitment. It ain't about making an appearance. It's not about just knowing of somebody. It's the difference here. That's good. It's the difference between knowing somebody and knowing of somebody. Right? When we think about commitment, it is the difference between knowing somebody, knowing of somebody. When we know of somebody, we are operating in surface. When we know of something, we are operating surface. When we know something, we are going below surface and we're functioning in commitment. And so I got to challenge you today, because here's the reality. Many of you are struggling in love, struggling with being happy, because the things you love and the things you want to make you happy, there is no commitment involved. And until commitment shows up, everything is surface. And again, that's from your relationship with God all the way down. Love and happiness ain't firm if commitment ain't there. You can't be happy. I mean, I'm giving y'all the answer to the test right now. It's like I'm jumping to the end of the sermon. You can't be happy on your job if you ain't committed to it. I don't care if your job is ghetto, the people you work. I have made a discovery 2 weeks ago that ghetto is definitely a noun. Ghetto is definitely a person, place, and a thing. I'm convinced. But you can't be happy on your job if you ain't committed to it. I don't care if your job is ghetto. If you're not committed to getting your work done every day and doing your work the best that you can at optimal performance, you're not committed to that job. You just come every day, you work, you collect a paycheck, but you ain't committed. It's that simple. So you ain't going to be happy on that job if you're not committed. It's that simple. You're not going to be happy in those relationships if you ain't committed to them. Some of y'all ain't happy because you got 6 relationships. You just need to try one. And maybe if you quit trying to juggle multiple relationships or quit trying to juggle multiple connections, looking for which one is going to stick best and just stick to one, you might find true happiness. Some of y'all ain't going to find happiness in relationships because you ain't committed. Oh, it's quiet in this virtual church. Some of y'all ain't happy at your church and you blaming everybody but you. Meanwhile, you show up once a month, you make an appearance every holiday, and then you want to blame the church. In the back, if the people were nice, I can, if pastor was in person, I'd be there, if you making excuses. If you committed to it, you're going to be happy, especially if it's feeding you. And see, the challenge with commitment is, for many people, it's redundancy. It's redundancy. Let me explain this. People, I want you to record this. You're going to be the smartest person at the water cooler tomorrow. People struggle with commitment because they struggle with redundancy. Man, this is good to me. Are y'all writing this down? People struggle with commitment. People struggle with commitment because they struggle with redundancy. I like this. I hate the gym, but I'm committed. That's a perfect example. People struggle with commitment because they struggle with redundancy. Y'all know I take notes too. Stuff be coming to me and something else just came to me and I cannot miss that. People struggle with commitment because they struggle with the redundancy. Let's use the gym as an example. I like that, Soné. Let's use the gym as an example. A lot of people started off work. What's this? This is the middle of February. Everybody was in the gym January the 2nd. Right? Planet Fitness, Gold's Gym, Pelotons was selling off the shelf. Everybody was in the gym January the 2nd. I got a buddy that works in the gym. He said the gym was packed. They had more callbacks. He had more calls he had to make back to people to lock in memberships that he had the last 8-9 months. Right? It was packed. Talked to him the other week. Hey, man, how the gym looking? Bruh, you can get in it, man. We figuring out ways now to knock off more percentage on the membership. You know why? Because when it comes to being commitment, people don't want to deal with the redundancy that it takes sometimes to see results. See, you thought commitment was just excitement every day. And see, when you are committed to something and it ain't exciting every day, you challenge what you're committed to instead of being focused on finding the details and finding the results and the redundancy. I'm trying to help y'all. You struggle. Some people challenge whether or not they are happy in a situation because it's repetitive or boring instead of finding the results in the redundancy. This is why your relationships ain't lasting long. This is why the stuff you claim to be committed to don't last long, because it's like you going to the gym. And I got work programs. I can't do the gym thing. I just can't, because people annoy me. I can't work out in the gym. I like to work out in my house. I don't want to be distracted. And then 2, I don't want nobody distracting me. It's ugly when I work out. It's not a beautiful thing. The results are great, but it ain't a beautiful process. And I do very hard workout tapes. But listen to this. I'm doing a workout thing now, a program now, and I'm on the last week this week, and then I'm starting a new one the next week. But we've been doing these exercises every week. About 5:15 in the morning, I'm up, same exercises, and sometimes I'm get up and I'm like, look, I don't want to lift. I know what we're going to do today. I did this workout the last 2 weeks. We're going to do this. I don't want to do this workout. But you know what? The results come through the redundancy, the repetitiveness. And some of y'all aren't seeing results in the things you claim to be committed to, and you blaming the stuff you're supposed to be committed to, when really you're just getting bored in the redundancy. And you don't even realize that if you can find the strength to stick to the redundancy, you can find results. Everything ain't supposed to be exciting. Now, granted, sometimes when I'm doing the workout tapes, like yesterday, the lady about killed me. Yesterday, I did the tape, and she introduced a move that was one of the hardest moves I've ever done in my life. This crawl burpee thing that I had to do that about wiped me out. I'm laying on that floor when that tape was over, and I just laid there reconsidering my life. But I got excited. Why? Because it was a new exercise. It was one that I hadn't seen. Now, was every exercise new? No. She introduced one new exercise, and the other 12 of them were the same exercises we've been doing. And see, you have to find the strength to stick to something in the redundancy of it. If it's a relationship, stick to it in the redundancy. That's it. All we do is pay our bills, and all we do is, go out and go here, and all we do is. I'm not suggesting that you shouldn't mix it up some. I'm not suggesting that, okay? But what I am saying is learn how to appreciate what you got. Find the strength in the redundancy. Stop being one of those people that think every day ought to be a brand new exciting day with a new exercise. It don't work like that. Because if you get in relationships like that, you're going to end up by yourself. Every relationship, marriage, whatever, hits a place called redundancy. I'm teaching better than y'all saying amen. Every single last one of them does. And you got to find the strength to find the good time in the repetitiveness of redundancy. Because when you do, and you can be committed in that space, that's when you see results. Some of y'all stop going to church. Well, the praise team sing the same song. We just do this. We just do this. I need some more excitement. Good luck. You're going to be going from one thing to one thing, to one place, looking for excitement. It ain't about excitement. Commitment is about finding the strength in the redundancy. I'm trying to help y'all today. Commitment is about finding strength in redundancy. And people struggle with commitment, right? They struggle to be happy in spaces because they struggle to be committed in those spaces. All right. And so that's where we are. Now, our society in general struggles. Our society in general struggles with commitment. We struggle with commitment. Thank you. I appreciate that, Nick. We struggle with commitment. Our society, and especially this generation struggles with commitment, right? And they wonder why they struggle in love. They wonder why they struggle with happiness. And you're struggling because you struggle to commit to things. We don't like to commit to nothing. We like to keep our options open. We are the ultimate card players when it comes to life, meaning you're going to have a few books, but you're going to have some possibles. I just gave y'all a word. Y'all don't want this. The way many of you live your life is you have a few things you know you can count on, and you walk around with some things in your back pocket just in case. That ain't commitment. That's not commitment. And so this generation, our society, this generation struggles with commitment. And one of the main reasons, I want you to record this, put this in the notes, all right? We take notes on this broadcast. I want you to record this. One of the reasons why this generation struggles with commitment is because we don't value obligation. I want you to record this. We do not value obligation. This generation struggles with commitment because we don't value obligation, right? We don't value obligation. Let me take that back. We don't value obligation like we used to. Let me say that. That's the more appropriate way. We don't value obligation like we used to, right? We don't value being obligated to something, right? When you are obligated to something, an obligation means you owe something. You are responsible for something. And you cannot talk commitment without talking responsibility. And can I help y'all? Some folks struggle to commit because they don't want to be responsible. I mean, is this thing on? I don't see no hearts flying. I don't see no amens. I don't see no nothing. Did I miss it this morning? I don't believe I did. Some people in this generation struggle. Most of y'all struggle with commitment because you don't want to be responsible. And this is why I laugh. I was going to put it up as statuses I've got in my notes a lot of statuses that I think of a lot. And so I've got enough statuses that I have not typed on my social media to last the next 2 years. Literally, I think of things and I type it in. One of the statuses I pass by it almost every day, and I don't know when to post it up. I might post it this week. Talks about this whole idea of pressure. Let me tell you another word that I'm starting to hate. Right? Another word that I'm starting to hate is pressure. Okay, and I'm going to explain this. Right. And you on this Valentine's Day weekend, Super Bowl Sunday, you're going to be the smartest person at the water cooler the entire week. Let me explain why I'm starting to hate the word pressure. Right. Why it is. And I don't know if it's the old age in me that just annoys me when I scroll down and I see this stuff on my timeline. But let me explain this. One of the reasons why I am starting to hate the word pressure is because people, when they say things like, oh, they post a picture and they put a hashtag pressure or, they say being, I'm pressure. Being with me is pressure. People don't really realize what they're saying. And let me explain to you what this really is. Okay. When you say you are pressure, you are saying I'm responsibility. I'm going to explain this. Y'all going to be so smart this week. You're saying I'm responsibility. So if you post a picture and say pressure, or you say, hey, being with me is pressure. Being in my life is pressure. If you want to be with me, you got to apply pressure. What you don't even realize you are subconsciously saying to people is, if they're going to be in your life, they have to be responsible. And you know why people are struggling to be in your life? Because they don't want to be responsible for your life. And that's why I say this generation struggles with obligation and commitment, unlike previous generations. Now, I ain't saying you got to go out here and be married at 18 and 19 like you on The Color Purple. I ain't saying that. God's the same. The days and the times have changed. All right. So I'm not saying you need to be married at 20 and 19. I'm not saying that. But what I am saying is some of y'all are even in this boat where I ain't old enough to do this. I'm not old enough to do this. I'm not old enough to start this. I'm not old enough to be in the business. I'm not old enough to have a relationship. That's not true. If you old enough to write the word pressure, then you old enough to be to walk in responsibility. Because pressure ain't nothing but responsibility. So when you say people being with you or being in your life is pressure, you're saying you have to be responsible with me. And that's why this generation struggle. I hate it. Folk would just be talking about pressure, and all they talk about is how they look. That ain't pressure. How you look ain't pressure. It's a whole lot of folk out here that look like you or better than you. That ain't pressure. Your curves ain't pressure. That's fun. Your shape ain't pressure. That's fun. Fellas, your bald head, your physique, that ain't pressure. That's fun. Pressure is the responsibility I have to invest to be in your life. Y'all don't like the way am I making sense? Is this thing on? Am I making sense to anybody today? That's pressure. And again, this generation struggles with that because we struggle with being with obligation. We struggle with saying, I'm going to be responsible for something. I'm going to be responsible for a person, right? I'm going to be responsible for children. I'm not saying that everybody doesn't want to have children because they don't, they're not responsible. I'm not suggesting that. But a lot of times I was telling a young lady this week, a lot of people don't want to commit to you, ladies. Guys don't want to commit to you because they don't want to have kids. They don't want to be responsible for another human being. Heck, half of them barely responsible for themselves, right? So don't take that personal. They might like your shape. They might like what you physically, mentally, spiritually bring to the table, but they ain't ready to apply no pressure. Not the kind that you want them to. This is a fact. And it is because, again, this generation really struggles with the word obligation. right? We don't want to be responsible for nothing. And to that end, because we don't want to be responsible for nothing, I want you to record this. We have made quitting and giving up convenient. This generation has made quitting and giving up convenient. We made it convenient. We have made quitting and giving up convenient. This generation, before they apply pressure, before they walk in responsibility or obligation for somebody, they'll quit in a minute. They'll walk away in a minute. Now, don't misunderstand me. There are some situations you need to quit from. There's some situations that you will take as far as you can take them. There are some instances, circumstances, situations you will go as far as you can. And if you've gone as far as you can, and I want to preface this here, because I don't want y'all to take this as a license. Dr. Zeb is giving me permission to quit on this, whatever this is, right? You just run through the list of different stuff you can quit on. I'm not giving you permission to quit on anything. I am saying to you that if you quit on anything, you can sleep at night when you know you took it as far as you could. And if you didn't take it as far as you can, then you just quit. Let's just call it what it is. You quit. You gave up. And this generation made quitting and giving up convenient. Before we will buckle down and be responsible for something, obligated over something, we'll quit in a minute. We'll quit in a minute. And that's why I laugh at y'all. This be the same generation that be posting statuses talking about pressure. You don't even know, sis, what pressure is. Bro, you don't know what pressure is. You have no idea. Because when you really operating in quote unquote pressure, you're operating in commitment. You're operating in responsibility, right? I grew up in a time, y'all, where we weren't allowed to quit nothing. We could not quit. I had to get on 4 yesterday because 4 hates to lose. He definitely got that honest. He hates to lose. And they've been on this little streak the last couple of weeks where they ain't been hitting nothing. Now, I blame the YMCA because the YMCA changed some rules, and I really believe it was directed towards my son's team because, YMCA got some funky rules at that 7 and 8 age. They let you run with the ball. Of course, you can't do that if you know anything about basketball. Let you run with the ball sometimes. They don't call it. That's fine. I mean, they're learning. But they have other rules that they now institute, like you can't steal the ball. And so the first couple of weeks, I teach my son. So kids were coming down. They were, stop with the ball. They don't know what to do. They hold it. And I tell for it, swipe the ball. Forward swipe it, steal it, go down, shoot layups. He's doing this all game. Well, YMCA, I think, caught on to this because his team was just really killing these other teams, stealing the ball. The team couldn't really get the ball down the court. They changed the rules up. Now you can't steal. So now you cannot take the ball. They want you to stand there with your hands. It's one of the dumbest things ever. And it's really messed up my son's game. It has. Yet he's not as aggressive as he has been because I think of that rule change. And yesterday he just got frustrated. He was out there. He was frustrated, huffing and puffing and all this stuff. And, I had to have to talk with him. It's great that you hate to lose. Daddy hates to lose. I can't stand a loser. Second place is first loser. And I don't think nobody should get a second place trophy for nothing. I don't care what it is. Second place. You didn't win. You just was the first one to say I lost. That's all, right? So I don't believe in this. And I know this generation, and my research is part of my research was on generational studies, right? And it's understanding how the different generations live, those kinds of deals. And so it's a very powerful study that I did, and I understand generations well. And this is the generation that believes everybody gets a trophy. Everybody should get a trophy when they come to everybody should get a trophy when they show up. Everybody should get a trophy for participating. Everybody should get a trophy for just coming to class. It don't work that way. The only folk, I grew up in a time where the only people that got a trophy was first place. I was in 6th grade, 5th grade. It was 4th or 5th grade. My 4th or 5th grade baseball team, 4th or 5th grade, I cannot remember. 4th or 5th grade baseball team was 1-12. I'll never forget it. It is the picture. I got a baseball picture. I'll see if I can find it. I'll show y'all Tuesday Life Study and put it on the screen. I had my hat on, had some teeth missing. I was on one knee. I had grass up on the other knee, looking crazy. And I was looking crazy, had a little smirk on my face. Why? Because I didn't want to go to that game. I remember this like yesterday. I didn't want to go to that game. We had already lost every game but one. It was the last game of the year, and I didn't want to go. And my daddy said, "You going? I don't care if you 1-50. You going?" Because I grew up in a time where you weren't allowed to quit. And that meant even if you was good and you was on a team full of bad people, you still couldn't quit. Not this generation. Y'all let your kids quit. Your kids be in sports. Your kids be doing stuff and things don't go right for them. That's all right, baby. You ain't got to go back. Yeah, you do. And what you do is you perpetuate this idea that when things don't go right, I don't have to be responsible for. Oh, I'm teaching. Are you listening? We perpetuate an idea in our kids' mind. When things don't go right, you ain't got to go back, baby. That's all right, baby. They didn't play you, baby. You ain't got to go back. That's all right, baby. You didn't win. You don't have to go to practice next week. You can skip the week of practice. And you perpetuate that. And you perpetuate this idea that I don't have to be obligated to, committed to, or responsible for anything when things go wrong. And this is why many of you quit relationships that you should have stuck in and tried to go as far as you can. Many of you quit marriages that you should have gone as far as you can and tried to stick in. You have quit jobs. You have left churches and you did not give it all your effort and you blame them. Why? Because you had this idea, it's okay if I quit. I'm teaching better than y'all saying amen. So I grew up in a time where we couldn't quit. I grew up in a time that when you were in second place, you ain't getting nothing but a Capri Sun and a pack of brownies. That's it. You didn't get no trophy. I tell a story all the time about my nephew, CJ. I'll never forget CJ when he first started. Now, CJ is big now. CJ is bigger than me. And my nephew, CJ, is, I think, 15 now. He bigger than me. When CJ was younger and just first started playing football and was out there, his team, I think, was 0 and something. And I never forget, he called me. I tell the story all the time. I tell this when I'm doing my coaching sessions, when I'm doing live presentations, because I talk a lot about leadership development. I do a lot of leadership trainings and seminars. And I tell this story a lot. I never forget, he called me, and I didn't even have Giselle and Ford weren't born at this time. And called me. They were having a game, and he said, call me up and said, "Uncle, come to my game. Come to my game, Uncle. It's a championship game." I'm thinking it's a championship game. So, I found out from Mama, it's at the high school. I go to the high school, and there are two teams out there playing. It ain't CJ. So I'm like, when's CJ and them going to play? Oh, no, this is the championship game right here. So when the game was over, they put all the teams on the field. And they lined all the teams up, and everybody got a trophy. So CJ runs up to me. "Hey, Uncle, look at my champ. This is when he was much younger. Hey, Uncle, look at my trophy. I'm a champion." Nephew, let me tell you something. You didn't win. You got a trophy for showing up. Now, I know that seems a little harsh for some of y'all, but that's the problem. That's why many of you walk around in disappointment, because you think when things don't go your way, that's always a bad thing. And it ain't. You'll never appreciate winning until you learn how to lose. But you will never accept losing until somebody positions you to accept it. Second place is not first place. Yeah, I rained all over his parade. Now he gets it. And my nephew's the same. He used to be the same way when he was younger. He would get mad when he lost. And you ask his dad, my brother, he would get so fired up and just so heated when he lost. And I love it. I love it. But that's okay. I like the fact that they don't want to lose. But understand, you get a trophy for second place, that ain't first place. And a lot of people are living our lives that way. We quit everything because it looked like we ain't winning. I'm here to tell you, I grew up in a time we weren't allowed to quit nothing. Now, I said this before, I'm going to say it again. Number one, I hope y'all wearing your mask. All right? I'm starting to believe when I go out places, I'm the only person still wearing a mask. Literally. I don't care where I've been. It just seemed like ain't nobody wearing a mask but me. So is the virus over? Is it not over? I don't know. I can't tell, because folk out here not wearing their mask. But let me tell y'all something. You know what? I look at other countries right now who have had to deal with the variant, who had to deal with this same virus. I said this on a previous broadcast, and I'm going to say it again now. I look at other countries that had to deal with the same variant, and now they fully outside with no mask. Thank you, Sister Ashley. I'm glad I'm not the only one. Thank you, Elder Miss. I see other people. Good. Folk not wearing these masks, man. They're not wearing this mask. And I'm looking around like, am I the only one? Like, but let me tell you something. I look at the other countries. Let me tell you how our country as a whole struggle with commitment and obligation and responsibility. You ready? I'm going to make some of y'all mad that ain't wearing your mask out here breathing on people's neck with your nasty self. Nasty. You nasty. Now that I got that out the way. Let me tell you how this country struggles with responsibility and commitment. I look at the other countries that dealt with the same variant, that dealt with the same virus. I look at them and why? Because I watch the news. I pay attention. I watch the news. I look at the other countries that are dealing with this variant, that have had to deal with this last variant that we dealt with, that was really, that everybody was literally catching. They say there's another variant that's lingering out there, ain't supposed to be as contagious. Like, this thing is going to continue to just duplicate itself, almost like the flu. It'll never go away. We will be outside without a mask one day, but it's just not time yet. But I look at these other countries that dealt with this, and guess what, y'all? They outside without a mask. Fully outside, at concerts, parties, restaurants, they fully out. Y'all, just Google, put this in Google. Other countries without mask and read. Just read. But let me tell y'all how they got there. You want to know how they got there? They got there because these countries, when we was playing around and folk didn't want to wear masks, and then governors had to create mandates, and they had to pass, they had to start passing things where you couldn't go to the grocery. I don't know if y'all remember when COVID first started, right? Grocery stores, Walmarts, all these places were having to put up signs, you got to wear masks, because folk didn't want to wear masks. They didn't believe the virus was whatever. It took our country almost a year just to come up with a solid mask mandate. You know why? Because folk didn't want to wear masks. And this thing got me to thinking. I said this before. If America had responsible people in it who were responsible enough to say, listen, y'all want to know how to end the virus? Let me show y'all how we can end the virus right. What's this? February the 13th. We could end the virus by March the 1st if we did this. You ready? And say I ain't even no politician. We can end the virus by March the 1st if everybody did this. For the next 2 weeks, everybody stay in your house unless you have to go to work. You have to take your kid to school or go to the grocery store. Okay? Stay in the house. And when you do go out, everybody wear a mask. It's that simple. Now, if you're real extreme like me, because I do extreme workouts, again, my workouts are very hard, but I'm that kind of person. I like results. I like fast results. I like to get them right. I got a better one than that. You want to go real extreme? Do what some of these other countries did. Some of these other countries, they had at-home mandates, which meant for 3 weeks, they couldn't come out nowhere. And look at them now. They outside, and here we are, up and down. Tests go, positive tests go down, variant hit, they go back up. They come down. They go. You know why? Because this country is filled with inconsistent, uncommitted people. I said what I said. You're not committed, you're not responsible, and you're selfish. This thing would have been over if all of us would have just said, when this thing started 2 years ago, hey, y'all, let's just stay in the house for 2 weeks. No, the world wouldn't crash. Not with you got grocery delivery services. You can get everything you need from home. COVID proved that. COVID proved it. We pass out money for everything else. People that have jobs where they have to be outside, cut them a check. Y'all cutting them a check for everything else? I'm not trying to make this a political broadcast, but I'm trying to prove something about responsibility. Cut them a check. The people that have to work jobs outside, they have to depend on those checks, they cannot stay at home, they don't have jobs that they can do virtual, cut them a check for 2 weeks and say, listen, I'm going to give you this for 2 weeks in exchange for everybody staying in the house. We couldn't do it. Y'all not committed enough to stay in your house. And we see that because when you go out, you ain't got no mask on. Y'all don't like this. Y'all don't like the way I'm teaching. I'm telling you the truth. So that's why we struggle. This society struggles with commitment. This society struggles with obligation. This society struggles with responsibility, right? Okay, so we've got to do this. Now, I want you to record this. When we talk about, then, love and especially happiness, I don't want to really make this a love thing as much as I'm really piggybacking off of the implications of commitment on love and happiness, right? We experience real love. We know what love is. We experience real happiness. We know what happiness is. We experience those things when we are really committed. When we're really committed. And I get that Sister Ash didn't want to come see us. Can't listen. I want to see all of y'all, but I want this virus to be over. I would love to see y'all without my mask so you can see the beautifulness in my face, right? I want to see y'all, but I want to see y'all whole. We just ain't committed to nothing. We can't stick to nothing for an extended period of time for nothing. Okay? But listen, I want you to record this. I'm going to give you the two greatest enemies to happiness, right? When we talk about happiness, I'm going to give you the two greatest enemies to happiness. The two greatest enemies to happiness. If you want to see happiness in your life, you want to see love in your life, I can make this for both. If you want to see love or happiness in your life, you got to overcome two of the greatest enemies. Two of the greatest enemies you're going to have to overcome are these two things. The two greatest enemies to happiness, number one, is unresolved pain or issues. Number one, unresolved pain or issues. A lot of people ain't happy because they ain't dealt with unresolved pain. And listen, when you don't deal with unresolved pain, let me tell you, you can't commit to nothing. You can't commit to nothing. You can't commit to people. You can't commit to a church. You can't commit to your job. You can't commit to your spouse. You can't commit to nothing if you ain't dealt with unresolved pain. If you ain't dealt with unresolved issues. And what y'all do is you take your issues out of one bad situation and you bring your issues somewhere else. This is why I laugh at people. I saw a post, it was hilarious yesterday, where somebody said, the same people you was in pajamas with in December, you better be posting them off for Valentine's Day. I died laughing. And the reason I died laughing is because there's a lot of truth to that. A lot of the people y'all posted in your pajamas in December, you're going to post somebody different tomorrow. You know why? Because you took your pain and your unresolved issues from one relationship right to the next one. It ain't even been 2 months. It ain't even been 2 whole months and you already posting somebody else. And what people do is they take their pain, their unresolved issues, they come out of one situation. I don't care if it's a relationship. I don't care if it's a job. I don't care if it's a church. I don't care what it is. You come out of one bad situation and you go right into the next one and you don't do none of that stuff. You don't heal. You don't deal with your issues. You don't deal with your attitude. You don't deal with nothing that got you in this position in the first place. And you take it from one place right to the next. You ain't doing nothing but trading your issues. That's all you trading your cards, your issues like you trading cards. You got to deal with your unresolved pain. When you don't fix what's broken, you're going to always have commitment issues. I want you to record this. When you don't fix what's broken, you will always struggle with commitment. Listen to me. When you don't fix what's broken, you will always struggle with commitment. Why y'all not recording this? This is a tough word today, but it's a necessary one. This is a good word. When you don't fix what's broken, you'll always struggle with commitment. Some of y'all questioning yourself because people won't commit to you. Ain't nothing wrong with you. The people you're asking to commit to you might be great people, but if they have unresolved pain, they'll never be able to commit. They'll never be able to commit. I like that song. Now, you can't sweep stuff under the rug. You have to address your issues. I had a very powerful question on TikTok yesterday where a young lady asked me, she said, how do I take baby steps to get better in leaving situations in the right way? Because I had a video that I posted, I think it was Friday, where I challenged people to leave situations the right way. Stop leaving, storming out of place and slamming the door and thinking that's cool. Ain't nothing cool with that. You ain't doing that but making yourself look crazy. And she said, listen, Dr. Zeb, I've had challenges with that. I've had challenges in not responding to people with how they respond to me. How do I deal with that? And I told her, you just got to learn how to sit with how you feel. It's okay to feel mad sometimes, but learn how to sit with that. Because when you don't learn how to sit with your emotions, you take that baggage and you put it on somebody else. You take your drama and put it on somebody else. You take your problems and put them on somebody else. You take all your issues and put it on somebody else. You're going to struggle with commitment until you deal with the unresolved stuff. This is in everything. Some of you think getting a new job is the answer to your career getting better. It ain't. The answer to your career getting better is maximizing the moment you got in the current career that you're in. Because I'm telling you, if you show up too late on this job you got, and God give you a new job, guess what? You ain't gonna do nothing but bring that laziness to a new position. Yeah, you're gonna be on time the first 2-3 months because you're excited to be in another place. But when the newness wears off, commitment issues show up. You're welcome. Y'all record that. When the newness wears off, commitment issues show up. If there are any. If there are any commitment issues, when the newness wears off, commitment issues always show up. It's the truth. Right. It's the same thing, Sister Michelle. She said, talk about when the butterflies go away. This is exactly where I am. Right. You meet somebody, and this is very, speaking on being on time work, don't join. Nick, leave Sister Sandy alone. This is Valentine's, so it's appropriate. Sister Nick, Sister Michelle said, talking about when the butterflies go away. It's the truth. Y'all meet people and y'all all nice and committed the first 6 weeks, but then when the butterflies wear off, the newness wear off, you start seeing all their flaws. You can see the stomach that you couldn't see at first, that was there the whole time, but you had butterflies. When that stuff wear off, that's where commitment challenges come. And listen, if you ain't dealt with your unresolved issues, when the newness wear off, commitment issues are going to show up every single time. Am I teaching this morning? I mean, every single time it's going to show up. And so you don't test commitment when you first meet people. You test commitment when the newness wears off, which is why come on, Valentine's Day. This is why some of y'all need to stop meeting people and then 3 months later talking about some weak boyfriend and girlfriend. That ain't long enough for the newness to wear off. Especially if you're a great catch, if you very attractive, if you're a great catch, you got a lot to give, and all of you I know do. You have a lot to give and a lot to offer. I don't know what the time period is. Don't ask me. Dr. Zed, what's the time period? I don't know. All right. But I'm just saying to you, if you met somebody, you dating them for 2-3 months, that ain't enough time for you to be like, we boyfriend and girlfriend. Y'all need to get that some more time. Why? Because you need to make that decision when the newness wear off. When the newness wear off, you can see their roles. They can see your flaws. They didn't see your attitude. They didn't see your sometiminess. They didn't see all of that stuff. And y'all still committed, responsible. You still locked in. Then yeah, go ahead and put a title on it. This is free game I'm giving y'all on Valentine's Day Eve. You welcome. Are y'all listening to me? Are y'all listening to me? Right? Okay. So people struggle with commitment when the newness wears off, if there is unresolved issues, if there are unresolved issues, if there are levels of unresolved pain, right? So you got to deal with that. Okay. Yeah, it's a risk. Anything that you get involved with is a risk, but being committed does not come, and I want y'all to listen to me good. Being committed does not come without hurt, pain, and sometimes confusion. I want you to record this, y'all. When you committed to something, being committed does not come without hurt, pain, or confusion. Some of y'all need to record this. I'm trying to bring some of y'all out of this fantasy land this morning. And I ain't just talking about relationship. I'm talking about anything you commit to. Some of y'all joined the gym and you thought that joining the gym was going to make your life better. And you didn't realize that working out every day comes with a whole lot of hurt, pain, and confusion. You be questioning your whole life when you on that treadmill. I be questioning my whole life when I'm over here on this floor doing these burpees every morning. Trust me, I'm questioning everything about my whole existence. When sweat dripping everywhere, I'm about to pass out. See, being commitment does not come without hurt, pain, or confusion. If you're going to be committed to anything, there's going to be some hurt involved. Why? Because anything we commit to, when it disappoints us, will create hurt. Anything that we commit to, when it disappoints us, will produce pain. Anything we commit to, when it does not go the way that we want it to go, comes with some confusion. It's the truth. And you would not be hurt the way you are if your expectations for the things that you're committed to weren't so high. That's normal, y'all. See, we take it so personal when things that we're committed to hurt us. You shouldn't. You shouldn't. The things you love, the things you are committed to will hurt you. That's people, places, or things. They will hurt you. This is why I take the whole church hurt with a grain of salt. There is such a thing as church hurt. I'm not minimizing church hurt. A lot of you have been destroyed by other church folks in church. I'm not minimizing church hurt. Church hurt is a real thing, and church hurt does happen. But understand this. If you love your church for real, you're going to get hurt in it. Somebody had to say it. Somebody had to say it. If you love your church for real, you're going to get hurt even up in there. Sometimes stuff going to happen that's going to hurt your feelings. Sometimes people in that church are going to do something and it's going to hurt your feelings. Sometimes the pastor going to hurt your feelings. But anything you love is going to hurt you sometimes. Now, it shouldn't hurt you all the time, right? It shouldn't hurt you all the time, but is it going to hurt you sometimes? Absolutely. Just like working out hurts you. Just like the kids you love, having high standards for them and wanting what's best for them. And you got, especially when you got grown kids and they go out there and do something crazy, that hurts. But it hurts because you're committed to their success. You're committed to seeing them do well. So commitment does not come without hurt, pain, or confusion. Y'all stop questioning whether or not you should be committed because there's some pain there. Right? Because when you do, you stop being happy in spaces. You stop, oh, this is good here. You stop being happy in spaces when you question commitment because of hurt and pain. You stop being happy in spaces when you question commitment because you're confused in a situation. You question commitment and stop being commitment when you begin to question why a certain situation is bringing you pain. Right? You got to do this. And I like that too. I ain't gonna lie, that does bother me too. So now I'm gonna read this because I see Sister Ashley said the struggle too. I know what she's talking about. My kids hurt me when they don't appreciate me, but I know I'm doing it for the bigger picture. It's the truth. Like my kids are 8 and 9, and I be doing stuff for them sometimes, and they just take it and run on around the house. And I'm like, brother can't get a hug. A brother can't get a high five. A brother can't get a thank you, daddy, you the best. Something. When they're with their mom, I tell them the same thing. Your mama does something for y'all. I don't care how small or big it is. You better open your mouth and say thank you. I believe in that, right? We have to teach our children how to value those things. But there comes a day where sometimes you even do things for people that you are closest and nearest and dearest to, and you may not hear the thank you. And that will hurt you. But you don't question commitment because you've been hurt, right? These kids will hurt your whole feelings. Like, I'm laughing because we cleaned out the living room, and I'm working on my garage now, and looking at all of this stuff that got them for Christmas. That stuff just sitting up in there chilling, man. And you didn't blood, sweat, tears. You didn't Uber. You didn't went out here and sold fish plates, chicken plates. You didn't did all of that stuff, and kids get stuff and don't even say thank you. Now I'm with you now. I'm with you, Sister Ashley, because that's my kind of carrying on. My kids are so conditioned now. It's rare when I do something for them, they don't say thank you, Dad. And they might not go to the extreme. Say, oh, Daddy, you're the best, stuff like that, which I really like that stuff. I like hearing that. I like when they say it to me, I tell them, you need to tell your mom that too. I do that. I believe in that. Right. So they may not always go to that extreme, but my My kids have it to a science now. When somebody does something for them, whether it's me or anybody else, you say thank you, right? Because we teach kids how to value, how to be responsible for things. We teach them how to be grateful for them, right? But some of y'all that went out here for Christmas, you had sold fish plates. You've been out here washing cars. You know, some of y'all, some of y'all thought about going to clubs to make money for these kids, and you get these kids stuff, and they look you right in your face and be like, "Is that it?" Y'all better teach these kids gratitude. Teach them how to be grateful. All right. And so that's the first thing. First enemy to happiness is unresolved pain or issues. The second enemy, I got 5 more minutes and I'm done, is excuses. The second enemy to happiness is an excuse. Oh, I wish I had time to deal with this. The second greatest enemy to happiness is an excuse. It's an excuse, meaning you got to stop making excuses as to why you can't commit to stuff. You got to stop making excuses as to why you can't be happy, why you can't love, why you can't commit, why you can't be responsible. You got to stop making excuses. Stop making, well, Dr. said, I would be more committed on this job if these people just act right. That's an excuse. You can't control nobody but you. I know y'all don't like this. That's an excuse. You can't control nobody, especially nobody grown. Only folk you can halfway control is your kids. And when I say halfway, that's that, because you can only control what they do in your face. You can't control what they do behind your back. You can't even fully control your kids. You can't. So stop making excuses. Well, I would give my all at work if I worked with people that were more considerate. That's an excuse. I would give my all at church. I would, come more and people, just weren't so crazy. That's an excuse. Every church got crazy people, and rehab filled with them. They certified crazy with letters. That's an excuse. That's just an excuse, y'all. Y'all, I would commit to a relationship if I wasn't just so afraid of being hurt. That's an excuse. Deal with your unresolved pain. I would commit to a relationship if I wasn't just so afraid of what people are going to say about who I want to be with. That's an excuse. Deal with your unresolved issues. That's an excuse. You're making excuses. Okay? And I learned a long time ago that excuses are the tools of the incompetent that build monuments of nothing. And those who use excuses normally amount to nothing. Y'all stop using excuses. Stop. A lot of this stuff that we call them reasons are excuses. And that's why you're not happy. Okay? Whatever you have to do, and in whatever you do, keep going. Keep pushing forward. I was laughing because I remember last summer, I was cutting the grass out here, and I had my shades on. I don't wear my shades. These are cutting grass shades. So these shades aren't shades for to be fun. These are shades for like doing lawn work. So when stuff is hitting your face or whatever. So I ain't out there in my Ray-Bans. I'm out there and just, cutting grass shades. And so I have my shades on. So it's darker, and I have my hat on so nothing gets in my head or whatever. And the old cop shades. And I'm out there cutting the grass. And while I'm cutting the grass, and everything looks normal in my vision. I'm pushing the lawnmower, and I walk right into a spider web. Right into one. Didn't see it. Walked right into the spider web. And when I walked in that spider web, I was all like this, but I had my other hand on the lawnmower. You know how it works. You let go of the thing, you let go of the choke. Then the lawnmower cuts off. So I walked through the spider web, and it hit me, and I stopped. And I'm doing like this, trying to wipe out my face, got my hat on, got my glasses. Fortunately, it wasn't in my eyes because I had my shades, but you could feel it around your face and stuff like that. And so I'm doing all this, but I kept my hand on the lawnmower. And then as I'm wiping it off, I started pushing with one hand, and I'm wiping my face. What's the point? The spider web could have stopped me, but I didn't let the spider web become an excuse for me not to keep going. Can I help y'all? Many of you in your lives are using spider webs. Things that are like spider webs that are coming up to you that you never saw coming. And you're making that cause you to stop, cut the lawnmower off. You done took your shades off. You done took your clothes off. I ain't cutting no more grass. I didn't run into a spider web. No, you wipe the spider web off and you keep going. Y'all stop making excuses. Stop. So that's I would have had a whole fit. No, stop. You gotta keep going. That spider web was not big enough to stop me from my assignment. And when you allow spider webs, what are spider webs, Dr. Zeb? Spider webs. Lord, I need to TM this. Spider webs are the things that come in your life that you did not see coming, that will distract you, but shouldn't be big enough to stop you. Spider webs are the things in your life that you did not see coming. Spider webs are the things in your life that you did not see coming, that can distract you, but they're too small to stop you from going forward. Y'all can't be distracted by these spider webs. Stop. Because when you get distracted by a spider web that comes your way, you are in the excuse-making business. Stop making excuses, y'all. Stop making excuses for the things that happen to you, right? These are often two of the greatest enemies to happiness: unresolved pain and issues. All right. So we've got to stop that. Now, real quick, because I'm out of time and I ain't out of word, but I got to give you this. Okay. I got to give you this really quickly. I think I see. Thank you for recording that, Sister Swan. You can tell I was trying to write that one down. I really appreciate that. That's what they are. I'm going to give you this really, really, really quickly, and then I'm going to let you go. I think I'm going to do a part 2 of this next week. Okay. Is that fair? We'll just call this Love Month. And next week will be for those of you that are recovering after tomorrow. All right. But I want you to record this. All right. And this is the last thing I want to give you here. All right. I want you to record this. Never confuse how you see yourself with who you really are. And I don't have time to explain this the way I want to. Okay, but this is going to help somebody here in the context of commitment. Never confuse how you see yourself with who you really are. Okay, and this is especially a word for those of you that struggle with how you see yourself. This ain't for everybody. Some of us, we see ourselves the way we should see ourselves, but it takes work to get here. It takes work to get here, and it impacts your ability to commit. And this is where I'm going to start next week. Let me make a note here. This is where I'm going to give you what they call in television broadcast media a teaser. This is where I'm going to start here. Never confuse how you see yourself with who you really are. Because when you have struggled with things like love, and you've struggled with things like being sincerely happy, when you struggle with things like commitment, when you've struggled with internal battles, right? You've struggled with things inside of you that have influenced your self-concept, right? Many of you are doing my self-concept challenge on YouTube. If you're not, go jump on it, jump on day 1 and start tomorrow. All right. But when you really struggle with your self-concept and how you see yourself, if you've ever had that struggle before, sometimes how you see yourself and who you really are won't match up. When they match up, your self-concept is great. When they don't match up, you've got a self-concept issue, right? And sometimes I like that, Soné. It takes other people to pull you out of that, right? It takes other people to help correct how you see yourself, to help correct, what you think about yourself, to help correct the value that you place on your life and the value that you place on your work and everything that you are, right? This is why being connected to the right people, being connected in the right circles will also help with our ability to walk in love, happiness, and commitment, right? The people that are closest in my life are people who challenge me to be able to walk in love, happiness, and commitment, right? Because they influence the way I see myself. Yes, Zeb, you are able to do this. Yes, Zeb, you are capable of doing this. And that's for those moments in my life. And we've all had them. That's for when I've hit those moments in my life where I could not see it in myself, right? This is where having a pastor, this is where having a spiritual guide, a spiritual mentor, this is where these things are important. Part of my job, y'all, is not just to give you a word. Part of my job is to be able to see in you what you can't see in yourself. It is. And one of the things that I love about this job, there's some things about this job I don't like. I'm going to be honest with y'all. You never hear another pastor say that. I'll say it. There's some things about this job I do not like. But one of the things I love about this job is talking to people who can't see their value, and their value is hitting you right in the face. Like, you can see everything. You can see everything they bring to their family. You can see everything they bring to their career. You can see everything they bring to their relationships. You can see everything they bring to their marriage. You can see everything they bring to their children. You can see everything that they bring to their family. You can see everything that they bring in every space that they're in, but themselves struggling with seeing it themselves. And so being connected to somebody who can see our value or remind us of our value really helps us when it comes to how seeing who we really are, seeing ourselves for how we really are, right? This is so important. It is critically important in this season and in every season of your life that you connect with people that help to positively influence your self-concept. Y'all, I'm starting right here next Sunday, January the 20th, with part 2. And we're going to deal with this. Did this bless anybody today? Was this message for everybody, anybody today? Was this message valuable today? I hope it was. I truly hope this message was valuable today. This was a very powerful message. And wow, love and happiness. I believe y'all thought I was just going to sing the song Love and Happiness. If you know that song, you know it. But no, commitment is really the factor. Commitment is the X factor when it comes to love and happiness. And it is our willingness and our ability to commit that then in turn helps us to walk on this love and happiness journey. And it really starts with you. And I'm going to talk about this next week because I'm really going to start to shift this paradigm from loving things and being happy about things to loving ourselves. Because here's the reality. Some of y'all ain't happy because you don't love you. Some of you ain't found love because you don't first love you. And everything starts with how you feel about yourself. Some of y'all thought that getting somebody was going to make you happy. But if you ain't happy with you, getting somebody ain't going to make you happy. And I know you don't believe that. I know you believe that if you find the right one, they're going to make you feel better about you, but it ain't going to work. It's not going to work. If you ain't happy about you before you get the new job, we can drop a new job on you and double your salary by $100,000 a year. If you ain't happy with you, it ain't going to last. I know y'all don't believe that. Your happiness on that job is not going to last. Well, Dr. Zeb, that's a whole lot of money. I know it, but it still ain't going to last. Take my word for it. Right? So this all starts with how we feel about us. Listen, y'all, I got to pray. You got a prayer request? Would you type it in the comments really quickly? I am out of time. I didn't even mean to go this far. It always happens like this. Quickly. You got 25 seconds for real. I want you to type your prayer request in the comments really quickly. I'm praying for you every morning, 4:40. I am up. I'm up like clockwork. I'm up. I pray over your request. I pray for myself. I pray over your request. I work out. I get into my day, and I keep your prayers, your prayer requests near and dear to my heart all week long. So many of you, I actually thought about this week. This was really a weird week. It was a very ghetto week, a mildly ghetto week work-wise, but it was a weird week in terms of just thinking about people. A lot of people really placed on my heart this week. A lot of you placed on my heart this week. So I'm praying for you. I'm praying for your request. I'm praying for your needs. I'm praying for what it is that you're going through. And I want you to know that you're not in it alone. All right. You got somebody who, if I can't do nothing else for you, might not be able to pay your bills, might not be able to show up at everything that you got going on in your life. But there's one thing that I do for you every single day, and that is I pray for you. You don't have to thank me for that, Mother Brenda. It was an honor to be there. I would not have missed your 70th birthday for nothing. Mother Brenda had the bomb virtual 70th birthday party. My kids were standing right here. Y'all couldn't see them standing on the side watching. And they really enjoyed it. It was like, Daddy, this is really nice. But I'm praying for you. I'm praying for you. I'm praying for your situation. I'm praying for your circumstance. I'm praying for everything concerning you. Thank y'all for praying for me. I mean that. I don't take it for granted. I see you, Elder Misty. So many of you are praying for me, and I appreciate that. Thank you for praying for me. Continue to pray for me. And know that I'm praying for you. Know that I'm praying for you. Prayer works. Prayer absolutely works. And yes, Sister Ash, I'm praying for you. I'm praying for you. I know it's that time with Brother Kai. It's tuition. That's been your prayer request for a very long time. And I really want that for you, Brother Keaton and the family. And of course, Brother Kai, I want that to happen. I'm praying, y'all. I'm sorry, y'all forgive me. I'm just starting to see a few prayer requests. And I hate to get in the business of reading them because I feel like I got to read them all. But I'm praying for y'all. I truly am. This is your season, y'all. This is your time. Things are going to happen for you. And I believe God for it. Type it in quickly. Then connect your hands like this as a sign of symbol of faith. Let's pray. Good. Great prayer requests that are coming along. We still have people that are losing loved ones to all types of things. And I'm praying for you. I'm praying for all of you that have lost anybody in any way or any circumstance at all. Connect your hands like this as a sign of symbol of faith. Let's pray. Father, in Jesus' name, thank you today for your word. Thank you for this time of sharing you've given us. I pray, God, that something was said or done. Something was explained through your word that has challenged somebody, that has convicted somebody, that has encouraged mostly somebody today to go and be the best version of them that they can be. Thank you, God, for helping us to see today in a clear way the connection between love, happiness, and commitment. Help us, God, to be better committed in everything that we do. Doesn't matter what it is, whether it's our diet, working out, our jobs, our relationships, whatever, our families. Help us to be better committed so that, God, we can experience the love and the happiness and the joy in our lives that you have intended for us to experience. Now, God, I lift up to you every prayer request that's come across this line. I ask that you would answer the prayers of your people, that you would make ways as only you can, that you would meet needs as only you can, that you would open doors as only you can, that God, through your word and through this prayer request, that God, you would continue to answer the prayers of your people in a mighty way. Let this, God, be a week filled with miracles, open doors, made ways, met needs, new opportunities. Allow doors to be open for us that we could not see. Allow windows to be open for us that we never saw coming. Allow this to be a week of exceeding and abundant above all that we can ask or think. Help us, God. Position us to believe in you before we experience you answering our prayers. And God, we will continue to give your name glory, honor, and praise. In Jesus' name, amen. Do me a favor. You prayed that prayer of faith. I want you to type in the comments quickly. It is so. Quickly. It is so. I'm absolutely praying for that, Sister Ashley. Man, y'all got some powerful prayers today. Woo! I'm going to definitely have to go back and watch this replay today. Powerful prayer request today. Come on, you prayed that prayer of faith. I want you to put in the comments quickly. It is so. It is so. It is so. Quickly. It is so. It is so. If you prayed that prayer of faith, I want you to put it in the comments quickly. It is so. It is so. Come on, hurry. It is so. If you prayed that prayer of faith, I want you to put it in the comments quickly. It is so. It is so. As you're doing that, if anybody wants to be saved today, if anybody wants to dedicate their life to Christ, if anybody wants to commit their life to Christ, I want you to stop what you're doing. Romans 10:9 tells us this, that if we confess with our mouths, if we believe with our hearts that Jesus Christ is who he is and did what he did for us, we are saved. See, being saved ain't about being perfect. It's not. I had a great conversation with a student of mine this week who was asking me some questions. Dr. Taylor, what about this? Asking me some very powerful questions at work, and I had to explain to her, being saved ain't about being perfect. Being saved and saying that you are saved is about acknowledging the one who took your imperfections because of what he did. That's what Romans 10:9 is all about. If we confess with our mouths and believe in our hearts that Jesus Christ lived and died and rose again for our sins, we are saved. That's the first step, right? God wants to save you today. He wants you to dedicate your life to him. And so if you want to be saved, I don't care where you are. I want you to stop what you're doing. If you're in the pool, get up out the water. If you're at brunch, put down the bacon. If you're in the bed, laying down, I want you to sit up because I've got a prayer of faith that I need you to repeat after me. And God wants to save you right now. Say this with me. I'm a sinner. I'm not perfect. I've made some mistakes. I have some flaws. And I even have some failures. But I do believe that Jesus Christ was born of a virgin. He lived on this earth in a physical way, just as I'm living. He suffered, bled, and died on the cross. But 3 days later, rose again for my sins. Because he lives, I can live. and I am saved. My friends, if you prayed that prayer of faith, I want to welcome you to the royal family of Jesus Christ. You've made a powerful decision today that is literally going to change the rest of your life. Now, go find you a church home somewhere and do me a favor. If you prayed that prayer of faith, I want you to put in the comments right now, quickly, #salvation. I'm sorry, I got ahead of myself. #salvation. If you prayed that prayer of faith, I want you to put in the comments right now, #salvation. Now, you prayed that prayer of faith. I want you to go find you a church home somewhere. Doesn't matter where. Find you a Bible teaching, Bible believing church that believes in teaching, preaching the word in a way that you can understand. Church doesn't even make sense if you go there and the word don't make sense, right? You are wasting time if you go and the word doesn't make sense. You can't understand the word. Find you a church. It doesn't matter. You know your style. You know your learning style. You know your relatability style. Find a style that makes sense to you where the word is being preached in a truthful way, being taught in a truthful way. And so that it makes sense in your life so that you can apply it to your life and you can join that church, be a part of that church. Maybe Rehab's the place for you. Maybe you've been tuned in. This isn't your first time and you want to be a part of the Rehab Christian Center. Yes, even in the virtual space, we are accepting members and it's simple. If you want to be a part of the Rehab Christian Center, simply type in the comments, #membership. That's #membership. And one of our faithful moderators will reach out to you, get some information from you. And we would love to welcome you to not what is the largest church on the planet. We're not big at all. At least we weren't before COVID hit, but not the largest church on the planet, but by far the nicest church on the planet, the Rehab Christian Center. That everything is in the name. It ain't a perfect church. It's a lot of people in this ministry that's got a lot of problems, me included, pastor included, but it is a place where we have learned the power of grace and understanding that God's salvation is not about being perfect, but it's about loving him. If you want to be a part of this ministry, just simply type in the comments, #membership. One of our faithful moderators will reach out to you and get some information from you. Quickly, I want to challenge you to give. On this Super Bowl Sunday, I want to challenge you to give today. If this ministry has been a blessing to you, I want you to sow a seed today. Give your give an offering, give your tithes, give an offering today. I want to challenge you today to give in a special way. You see all of our mediums of giving on our screen. The moderators are putting them up. You can give via CashAPP, $REHABCC give. You can give through our website, www.rehabcc.org, or you can give by text, by texting REHABWORKS to 88202. And right to your cell phone, you'll see a prompt, click on it, and you can follow those instructions and give that way. But I want to challenge all of you to give today. If this ministry has been a blessing to you, I want to challenge you to give your offering, give your tithes, give your offering today, and watch God continue to bless you. How? Good measure, pressed down, shaking together, running over. He will send people into your life. I'm a living witness who will do for you what you could not do for yourself because of the way that you give. And I want to challenge you to give today in a special way. And I promise you, God is going to bless you in a tremendous way. Good measure, pressed down, shaking together, running over. He's going to do that for you. And I'm excited about it. Listen, y'all, I love y'all. I'm praying for y'all. I'm rooting for y'all. Make plans to meet me this Tuesday. We will be back on the change time, 8:08 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Please accept my responsibility for last Tuesday. I changed the time because they changed my son's basketball practice. He didn't have practice because he had a makeup game Wednesday. And so I said, shoot, I'm going to jump on the 7:08 time, but I forgot to let everybody else know. So I just popped up on the live at 7:08 and people was looking like, I didn't know we had church. So that was totally on, Pastor. I apologize. I had too much going on, too many coals in the fire, and I'm doing a better job of trying to manage all of that while I'm managing everything that I have going on. So make plans to see us this Tuesday at 8:08 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here at the Rehab Christian Center. And we can't wait to see you. All right. I love y'all. Enjoy your Super Bowl Sunday. Enjoy your family. Enjoy Valentine's Day. If nobody tells you happy Valentine's Day, happy Valentine's Day. I just did it. I love you. Nobody tells you that tomorrow. Hear it from me. I love you. Happy Valentine's Day. I mean that sincerely. If you have to take yourself out to eat or make dinner yourself, go do it. But I want you to enjoy yourself and know that I love you and I'm rooting for you. I want you to have a fantastic week this week, and I will see you on Tuesday, 8:08 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. All right. Love y'all. Praying for y'all. Peace and blessings.
Thank you for watching the Rehab Christian Center live experience. If this broadcast has been a blessing to you and you would like to be a blessing to our leader, Dr. Zeb Talley III, you can sow a seed into his ministry by CashAPP at $Pastor ZT3. It is our prayer that this message of hope encouraged, enlightened, and empowered you to be better. Please tune in Tuesday at 7:08 p.m. for our life study experience. And as always, be blessed and have a wonderful week.